Today I want to talk about winter care of citrus trees, in particular this Australian finger lime. It's a really unusual citrus tree. It's not like any other type. It's got really tiny leaves, which actually makes it more hardy for temperatures like the ones we have here in the UK. And this one has even been grafted onto hardy rootstock too, so it could do really well outside. The problem is the rain. If you leave it out in the rain, and as it's constantly raining at the moment here on the 1st of January, and has been for the past few weeks, if I leave it out there, it's liable to get root rot, and because it needs to stay really dry. So I'm keeping it indoors in this really sort of cool but not cold room. It's got lots of sunlight coming from this sort of door here. My other plants like it here too. They're really quite happy. So it seems so happy so far. And the main thing is just to make sure it gets enough food and just stays really healthy. It also likes a sort of a moist environment. So a really good thing to do, I do it every few days, is I have my little mister here. I just sort of go over it with water just to give it that extra bit of moisture for its foliage so it doesn't lose too much moisture. And this really helps ward off things like spider mites, which can be a really bad problem for citrus fruits and citrus trees in general. And they're really hard to get rid of. At least they were hard for me, so best avoided for sure. So I just go over with little moisture thing I got from Aldi, and it seems to do the trick and keep it healthy and keep it from having any foliage drop, leaf drop. What I also use is something that's really good for it. It's a special citrus feed, and so I've got a winter one, which is just for the winter months as well, obviously that you sort of use from October to March. So that's this one here I use. And you just blend it up with a bit of water, and it's really good. It gives them everything they need to keep them strong and healthy, and also ready to flower and fruit later on in the year. And the main thing to remember is that it's important not to water it too often. They say that, especially here in the UK, because it is so wet and not sunny at all during the winter, if you want to water it, you have to, and it sort of looks dry, because if you look down on the ground here, the soil down here, it's really, really, really bone dry. So I've left it for about a month, and now I water it once a month during the winter pretty much. Ouch, there's a bit of thorns down there. But yeah, it's really, really dry. And that's a good indication. They say that if you think you need to water it, because I'm a kind of person who loves to feed my plants. I don't like to think of them as screaming or being in pain or wanting water. It's a horrible thought. But when I see it and I'm watering the others, I sort of think, nope, if it looks like it needs some water, leave it a week at least, and then come back and then maybe water it, or not, as the case may be, however long it's been. Because it does seem that, of course, it's really well draining soil, and so it looks like it's really, really dry, but if you dig around a bit down there, you'll see it's not. There's still a bit of moisture. I mean, even now there is a teeny bit of moisture down there, but the top bit is bone dry, and that's what you're sort of looking for. So I'm going to give it a drink, because it's been a month since it's had any, and I think it needs some. So you want to water it really, really rarely in the winter, but give it a good drink, and make sure the water goes right through to the bottom. And that's why it's in this container. Obviously it's got holes in this pot, and then this container will collect any extra water, and I'll just empty it right out. I'm not going to leave it standing in any water or anything like that. What they say to do is to also water it at least 20% of the volume of the pot as well. So I've got a 4-litre pot. This is in a 4-litre pot, this one here. And so I'm going to give it 800 milliliters of water. I've done my maths, and it's going to be 800 milliliters of water. Putting in there gently. I've got it in this all measured up. It's got some food in there. I've done it according to the instructions. So it's a bit of water in here, 800 milliliters. I'm just going to pour it in there and let it go out to the bottom, and then empty it out again. So we'll just start doing that. Make sure it goes all the way around the pot, just slowly, and not make it drown. obviously, anything like that. Just like giving it a really, really, really good drink. Make sure that the whole root ball really gets a good, decent soak. See, it's seeping down there really quick. So I'm just going to go like that and make sure this side gets some too. There we go. Just get a really good soak. That food as well. Just let it go down a bit. Teeny bit left in there. See, it is going down really well. So that's a good sign. Like that. And that should just give it all the nutrition it needs to prevent it from dropping leaves and to keep it healthy and growing and ready to produce some beautiful flowers, which in turn will become beautiful fruits too, which I'm looking forward to showing everyone once they come. So